Afternoon, ladies and gents. I'm going to try this Screencast-O-Matic, stretch myself a little bit. Disclaimer here, I know my twang and my speech is probably not the best, but I'm giving it a shot. That way you don't have to listen to me as much in person and during the meetings. Maybe we can get a little bit more done. I wanted to put this slideshow together on redesign, lay some foundations, and then talk about maybe some of the things that are some of my dreams and goals. I haven't really mentioned those. Give you guys some time to mull over those. About some expectations as far as where our kids are, who our kids are, and then a little bit of encouragement at the end. These meeting norms we came up with last week in our redesign meeting with Gina and Mandy and KSDE. And definitely as we go down this redesign road, we have to have norms that we stick to. Our meetings have to be a safety zone. There can't be any bad ideas. We all have to be trusting and in this together. Respectful, one conversation at a time, stay focused on a topic, and then encourage wild ideas. I want to definitely encourage you to think crazy, as Mr. Leiter has said, as Michelle Miller from the State Department has said. There should be no boundaries. And sometimes I think we get stuck in the boundaries of our mind, the boundaries of the brick and mortar school building that we're in. And we need to do what's best for kids, irregardless of some of those boundaries. And the State Department has kind of given us that initiative or that opportunity this spring. This is something that you're supposed to take, give your results to Mrs. Oldham. The personality test, right off the bat, no snide comments about the purple portion of my personality test, with thinking only being 13%. But I think this is good for everybody to see kind of how we fit together and how we mesh in the different personalities that we have. How we can use those personalities for the best interest of our kids, because in the end, that's what it's all about, is doing what's best for our kids. And sometimes that makes adults uncomfortable, but you have to set emotion aside. You have to set your feelings aside and sit back and say, where do we want our kids to be? What are the processes we're doing right now that help our kids get to where we want them to be? So anyway, wanted to visit with you a little bit about the Wyoming visit that we just went on. Visited the lab school up there on the University of Wyoming campus, and then the Montessori schools. Pretty interesting. These were some takeaways, just some commonalities. We do some awesome things here. I was hoping to go up there and get my socks knocked off by some spectacular thing that they're doing. That just wasn't the case. We do some awesome things here, but how could we be more awesome? The things that I did notice, there was a peaceful environment. It was that flex seating, very laid back. Both schools talked about field study days where outside of the classroom, they created experiences. And if you think about your schooling, what do you remember? Do you remember the days in the classroom, or do you remember the experiences that your teachers created? The integrated curriculum, we can't have standalone, it isn't as impactful if it's standalone. And by the integrated, if one teacher was reading a book up there, then one in English, then one teacher was engaging in the science aspects of that book, or the math concepts. I mean, it was completely integrated, and the teachers worked together. They weren't their own secular individuals doing their own things in their class, and that was something that was fairly powerful to me. They had school-themed units that lasted anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to 9 weeks. The teachers ran some book clubs. There was multiple teachers per grade. And then another thing in the Montessori school, There was animals, aquariums in each room. That was definitely more of a Zen kind of find your peace, work with your hands. Very, very interesting school to visit. So some of my redesign ideas, we got to know what our values are, and then what practices are we using to get our kids to gain those values. Sometimes we're going to have to ready, fire, aim, and we're just going to have to be malleable in that process. So these are some good ideas you guys can read. Come and talk to me about them if you have any questions. Bring it up tomorrow morning. But we're all teachers who teach kids. All of us are teachers who teach kids. And then through this process, be present in the process. Couple truths, several truths, and this is on another thing that I already shared with you, but I think they are good to reiterate. Every child deserves to own their learning. Every child in your class is someone else's whole world. And I wonder sometimes when you sit back and think about the content or the interaction, and when we do some reflecting, if you want your kid to have the experience, could the experience be better? What could we change in the experience? Stories will always shape us. They will always help us learn. If you can go back again, it's not about necessarily the content, it's about the people. It's about the relationships. Our job is not to prepare students for something like an assessment. Our job is to help students prepare themselves for anything. Literacy is about learning, and learning is about unlearning and then relearning. And I think we're all going to be at a learning curve here as we go down this redesign road. Students, community, faculty, and staff, all of us. As teachers, we have a huge impact on our students' lives. Don't think that how you make a kid feel and what you say and your interactions with them on a daily basis don't stick with those kids. Sure, we all have our own stories, but I don't remember much about my 5th and 6th grade years. Pretty traumatic time, but I remember specifically how a teacher made me feel, and it wasn't a good feeling. And just be cognizant. We always have to be cognizant and aware of that. So as we go down this road, I want to talk about mindset. Ron Clark of Ron Clark Academy has written a book called Move Your Bus, and he brings up some valid points. Don't see and spread the negative. Notice your blessings each day. What are you going to choose to see? Which one are you going to choose to see? Don't make excuses. Be present every day. Be on point when it counts. Don't let the drama of your personal bus affect your work bus. We all have a work bus and a personal bus. We all have personal issues that we're dealing with outside. Don't let that, you can't be on your A game. You can't be the bomb.com if you're letting your personal bus affect your work bus. If you need some help, if you need some time, if you need something to help you through, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Don't assume you're awesome. Hashtag get better every day. Hashtag get better. Don't just be good, be efficient. And in this, be productive. What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish each day? Okay, what do you want to accomplish each day? And then do you do it? Do you get it done? Additionally, some of my other thoughts on this, the direction of your thoughts, they can lift you up. Your thoughts can lift you up. They can tear you down. They can energize you, or they can deplete you. What kind of attitude are you going to choose when going down this redesign road? You can count your blessings or you can count your disappointments. Which one are you going to pick? Courage for the journey. Like I've talked, embrace the suck. Your courage is going to be tested, and there are always little eyes upon you. There's always eyes upon you. How are you going to react when your courage is tested? And then question yourself, how have you reacted? when your courage has been tested. Because your kids have seen, your students have seen. And then courage is contagious. If you're courageous and you have the get it done attitude, that's contagious amongst staff and students. Then the power of perseverance. How will you respond when you're tested? And I urge you to patiently persevere. We're going to have setbacks. We're going to have disappointments. All of this isn't going to be fun. But we must never lose faith in what we're doing. We've got to keep fighting the good fight. So, in ending, you guys are the dynamic link between our kids and success. You are the experimenter, you're the programmer, you're the evaluator, you're the respecter and protector of our kids, the supporter, the demonstrator, the consistent good example for our kids to look to and our community to look to. And I encourage you, as we go down this road, this fast-paced life that we live in, take a minute, reflect on your successes this year. Is there anything you'd change? But then don't just think about it. Change your behavior because of it. Sure appreciate all you guys do for our kids. Again, I apologize for my twang. I know I've got one, and I'll laugh at myself here in a minute when I watch it again. Please, please, please reach out if you need anything. We're all in this together. Every single one of us is in this together. If you don't have that mentality, your impact is going to be limited. Our impact is going to be limited. So keep doing the good work. This is going to be a fun process. Just a new way for me to maybe get in touch with you guys. Thanks for what you do.